Since split voting began in 2009, either the juries or the public, or usually both, had the overall winner of the Eurovision Song Contest as their number one. That was until 2016, when Jamala came second with both the jury and the public, but was able to surpass Australia and Russia's total. This is not the Eurovision Statistics channel though. This is Eurovision Staging. Hi, I'm Mowgli. Welcome to the channel, the place where we dissect and analyse Eurovision stagings, finding out what enhances songs and creates the best performances. This time, Ukraine's winner from 2016, Jamala's 1944. An emotive, powerful and somewhat divisive entry, but nonetheless one that has some of the most interesting staging from Eurovision. Now, if you are a stranger here, you can give this a like, and if you want to be part of the house and come on in, then you can subscribe. As always, let's start with the lyrics. 1944 is a very personal song for Jamala, as it relates to the deportation of her great-grandparents and other Crimean Tatars in the 1940s. Not only this, but in 2016, the world was once again looking at Crimea following the Russian annexation of the peninsula. The opening line of the song, "When strangers are coming, they come to your house," is a poignant reminder of the horrors of invasion, not just in Crimea, but elsewhere in the world. The line, "They say we're not guilty," is of course an ironic statement, one felt most strongly by those who the crimes are committed against. Their pain, contrasted to the refusal to admit guilt, is the driving force throughout this song. As the first verse is sung, we get our first glimpse of Jamala. Walking towards us out of the blur, she wears a dark blue gown, used to draw attention to her face, her words and her voice. Unlike many other performers at Eurovision, she does not need to be flashy, and the darkened colours reflect the sombre message of the song. Both the verse and pre-chorus are performed with a static camera. Typically, Eurovision performers include a lot of movement to retain attention, but Jamala wants all eyes and ears to be fully focused toward her. The change of pace from the typical energetic stagings is an important aspect to the success of this song. Jamala's understated costume and dim lighting allow for extra focus on her face. The permanent eye contact as she sings here engages immediately. We can see the pain and sincerity in her eyes, drawing us in further. As the song progresses, this pain only grows, as does her strength. As she walks forward, she appears to almost not move at all, giving us a sense that little has changed since 1944, that the same problems, are occurring in the world. The pre-chorus lines, "Where is your mind? Humanity cries," are reminiscent of what we still hear today. "You think you're a god, but everyone dies." Ask that the perpetrators of crime take responsibility for their actions. The chorus itself is one of the most interesting parts of the song. Taken from traditional Tatar folklore, the lyric translates roughly to, "I couldn't spend my youth there because you took away my peace." The use of English and Crimean Tatar is another important aspect to the success of the song. Not only does it connect us as an audience to Jamala through English, a language which many understand, but it also connects Jamala to her ancestors, a theme which we see explored later on in the song and the staging. The beginning of the chorus occurs at the same time as the first change of camera shot, a sweeping high-angle pan that simultaneously provides a needed break from the eye contact, a glance at Jamala's diminished stature, a change in the colour scheme, and a view of the beautiful floor. The oranges and yellows give a sense of hope, but also a hint to the iconic moment that will come later on in the song. But as the chorus ends, the tone shifts. Jamala is not the first and won't be the last person to make use of lighting to represent a prison on the Eurovision stage. In fact, in the very same year, Sanja Vucic, representing Serbia, did exactly the same. But while Sanja's lights rarely change, Jamala's prison bars flash off and on with the music. They are not a distraction, but they are a great complement to the song. In addition to this, red, a colour which is so often connected to blood, is displayed in the background in lines, a blood connection perhaps to Jamala's ancestors. Much like a heartbeat pulsating outwards, so do the displays pulsate in the background, all emanating from Jamala. Her story spreads outwards, as does her family and their story. These reds become more disjointed but more vibrant and more powerful going into the second chorus, a fierce reminder of the blood spilt and lost. That is until they fade into a return to the amber hues, which is the iconic moment of the performance. With a medium close-up on Jamala and the music all but disappeared, we have nothing to focus on but her voice, her pain, and her agony. The ambers in the background are almost red, pain and hope mixed together. Anguish manifest as the floor lighting gathers beneath for the crescendo of the performance. This is the iconic moment of the performance, and a perfect panacea to the agonizing howling that we have heard a moment before. The amber hues return, as does hope, and the tree blossoms with blue flowers, perhaps a subtle hint to the Ukrainian flag. Less subtle, though, is the fact that this tree is a metaphor for ancestry, for Jamala's ancestry. Everyone in her family connected to her at the roots, all of them together with her in this moment as she becomes animated in her performance, singing powerfully when she has that support. This is the moment that Jamala won Eurovision. The staging is everything it needs to be: emotional, evocative, powerful, and personal. Jamala finishes the song by reaching out to us, the audience, asking us almost to join her as she sings a line which, unless you've looked into it, are unlikely to know. I couldn't experience my homeland. It's poignant, and even more so when she sings it in Crimean Tatar. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like I've missed something, or you've got a different interpretation of this staging, do let me know in the comments, and also let me know if there's any other songs you'd like me to cover. Thanks again, peace and love.